fixing to make Red Bud Blos'sum Jelly. I've got about 6 cups of Red Bud Blos'sums here. I got a pot that's got about 6 cups of water fixing to come to a boil. And then I've got my bowl that I'm going to strain the petals through once it's made. It's going to be a quick infusion. A lot of people do this overnight. They make a tea and leave it to sit overnight, and that is perfectly fine. I'm going to do this way though. There's other folks that do it this way. So what I'm fixing to do is I've got my Red Bud Blos'sums, I've got my lemon juice waiting, I've got my pectin yonder waiting, and I got some sugar over this side waiting. So what we're going to do now is, this is almost coming to a boil. We're going to take these beautiful little darlings right here, and we're just going to dump them in here and let it boil for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, you're going to see the petals lose their color, and then your water here will take on that beautiful color. I also got in here in the oven my jars. I don't know if you can see them down in there, but they're in there. I've got them heating at 200 degrees while everything is going, and I've got my canner over here heated up, so whenever my jelly gets done, I can stick it all in my canner and process it for 10 minutes. Okay, that's a mouthful. Alright, we're fixing to do it, y'all. Oh yeah, make sure, well, I do this. I always leave my my lids over here. I put them in some hot water and let them be, the rims, you know, be softening, so they'll get a really fine seal. Your water is boiling. There's time to dump your beautiful little petals in there. Now a lot of people rinse them off. I don't. I bring them straight in from the tree, and I try to get all the leaves and little twigs off of them, or out of them that I can. There's a leaf there, but I can't always get everything. But look at it, it's already starting to change in color. Okay, I'm gonna time this for 3 minutes. Alright. So I'm gonna let it boil for 3 minutes. And I'll bring you back. Alright, I let it boil for 3 minutes. Now I'm gonna take it off, and I'm gonna strain it through my strainer there into my bowl. At this point in time, I'm taking my spoon and I'm just pressing down on my strainer to get any kind of juice that's left in them blossoms out. You see how the color is completely gone out of them? When they were so vibrant and pink before. Yep. So anyway, you just want to squeeze all that out, and then I'm gonna put them back in this bowl and put them back, you know, just I'll put them in my I'll put them outside in my pile. I've got like a pile of little vegetation, pile of leftovers, what people call compost. So those will go in that. Now we have this beautiful colored tea. It's kind of a pinkish color, as you can tell, or reddish color. As you can see, we're going to pour it back into our pot, and then we're going to add our lemon juice, our pectin, and then our sugar. Let's see if I can do this for you. Alright, we're just going to take it and pour it back into the pot. Alright. I meant to tell y'all, this is 4 cups of Red Bud Blos'sum tea. So 4 cups of the Red Blos'sum tea. Now to this, I just added 4 tablespoons of lemon juice and 6 tablespoons of fruit pectin. Now if you have one of those Sure Gel boxes, you know, and it's like a 1.75 ounce box of sugar gel. You can just use that instead, the whole packet. But I've got the fruit pectin powder by YAHUSHA, I think. So I just use that. So now we're going to bring this to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, we'll go ahead and dump in our sugar. Now I'm putting, let's see, 4. I'll be putting right at 5 cups of sugar in here. So once it gets to a boil, then you can put your sugar in. But you want to stir it in real fine so your pectin gets dissolved in yonder. Okay. Alright, when it comes to a boil, I'll bring you back for the sugar. This is a very quick fixin'. It's an old-timey fixin'. So it's enjoyed by a lot of folks. It's a delicious sweet taste, and if you ever take a Red Bud Blossom and you pop it in your mouth and you chaw on it, it is so sweet. It's delicious. It really is. And so this is a way of actually preserving it, you know, springtime in a little jar. Now, I also made a tincture of the Red Bud Blossoms, and I also made an infused Red Bud Blossom honey. But I'm going to go back out yonder eventually, so very, very soon, and get some of the inner bark off of a limb and make a Red Bud tincture, Red Bud bark tincture, which is really great for all kinds of things. Okay, it'll be there in just a minute. Alright, I went ahead and added my 5 cups of sugar, and now we're just going to wait till it comes to a rolling bowl. And that rolling bowl, y'all, like I told you in my other jam videos, is the bowl you can't stir down. Look how pretty that is. You can't really see it because the steam, so much of the steam. But yep, it's fixing to come to that rolling bowl. Now remember, it's the bowl you can't stir down, but you need to constantly stir it while it's doing it. Boil it for 1 minute on a rolling bowl, and then cut it off. You know, keep stirring it, and then label it in your jars. Alright, it's coming. That rolling bowl you can't stir down. Now I went ahead and got my jars out. I got my funnel ready and my ladle over yonder. So I've got it all ready. And you want to do this kind of, I mean, you can, you know, take your time, but don't be too slow about it. Alright, we're going to start timing it. Alright, let's start timing it right now. Come over here, timer, 1 minute. Alright, there's your rolling bowl. Now go ahead and constantly stir it. Until your minute's up, and then cut off the heat. Start ladling. Alright, make sure you turn your heat off. Continue to stir with your ladle and start ladling your jars. Okay, so I'm going to switch hands here. And give it a stir. We'll move these jars a little bit closer. Nice and warm. Okay. Still hot. Pick you up a ladle. Fill your jars. I'm going to fill it right up to 1/4 of head space. A little bit more. There we go. And you're going to want to do that to all of them. Okay? I'll bring you back. Alright, now you're going to want to take a wet rag, or a wet tip of a rag, or a paper towel dipped in vinegar or hot water, preferably vinegar because it gets the sugar off better, and wipe your rims really well to get all that sugar off before you put your lids on. Alright, once you get your rims wiped off really great, really fine with some vinegar or water, go ahead and put your lids on and screw your bands on fingertip tight, and then use your jar grabbing tool right here. Grab your jar and then place them in your water bath canner, and you're going to pressure or process it for 10 minutes. So when it comes to a rolling boil, you know, it's just got constant boil that's not there yet, you'll put your lid on. Now out of roughly 5 to 6 cups of red bud blossoms, I've got 7 half pints of rosebud jelly. So that's the equivalent I came up with, because, you know, with my consistency of the ingredients I used. I went ahead and put the lid on so it'll get the boiling faster, and just come back and check it in about a minute or two, and then start your timer at 10 minutes. Alright, let's check it, and make sure you have a rag before you open up your lid, because it gets really hot. Alright, okay, we were at that rolling boil. Put your lid back on and set your timer for 10 minutes. Alright, we got our buzzer going off. We're going to go ahead and cut that off. We're going to cut our burner off. And we're going to let that sit there for a few minutes until it calms down. That thing is spitting some steam, as y'all can see. Don't just lift the lid up. Don't be, you know, ignorant like that, because you can get a steam burn. You can burn your face, burn your eyes. Any kind of water can splosh up and get on you. So leave the lid alone for at least 5 minutes. Let it cool down, and then take your lid off and take your jar tool over yonder and get your jars out. Alright, it's been at least 5 minutes, and not a little bit more. I'm going to take my lid off, and I'm going to pull it towards me, the lid, and see all that steam still come out of it. Open lid towards you. Don't just lift it up and open it towards the back end of the stove like that. Lift it towards you so that steam can come out and it won't burn you. Alright, now these are very hot. You're going to take your jar grabbing tool again. I'm sure it's got a professional type name. I don't know what it is. And you're going to just kind of wedge down in there and grab your jar. Get a nice grip on it. Tip it, let the water off of it. I forgot to put some vinegar in here, in the water. You can put a little bit of vinegar in your water for processing, and it keeps the calcium from building up on your jars. So you're going to do that for each jar, and you're going to put them down on like a towel or a mat or something, and you want to leave them alone for at least, you know, 24 hours. Come back the next day and you can mess with them. Alright, there you go. You're going to, like I said, let them sit for at least 24 hours. And hang on just a second, get that old cord out of the way. And now when you get them out of the canner, sometimes you'll see some of that like build up on them. That's what I was talking about. Whenever, like say tomorrow, you can actually left a leaf in there. You can wipe them off after they've cooled, but you know, let them alone for at least a day. And then grab your warm rag, and you can make sure they're all sealed, and you can wipe that stuff off right there. And then you can take your bands off and make sure each jar's sealed, and put them up. Label them and put them up, or just put them up. Sometimes I label them, sometimes I don't. These I probably will, because I got so many. I got some strawberry jam in there, and I think something else pinkish color, so I don't want to get them mixed up. But yeah, a little bit of vinegar in the water when you water bath in something, or you pressure canning it, will keep that calcium mess right there from building up on your jars. There's your pop. That's what you want to hear. Alright, I'll probably bring y'all back tomorrow and actually open one and do a little tasting of it, because I tasted it whenever it was in the pot before I rinsed it out, and it was some type of yummy. So there you go, Red Bud Blos'sum Jelly. And it'll look kind of like loose, you know, kind of thin. There's another one. But it will thicken up the longer it sits there. So don't get upset at yourself if it looks kind of thin when you pick it up and you see it kind of move around in your jar. It'll be alright. It's the next morning and I'm going to open, which I've done and opened it and taste tested it. And I just wanted you to see how beautiful the color is. And now I'm going to show you the texture. Here's the texture. It is set up very nicely. And let me get a smaller piece. Smaller chunk rather. There is your beautiful Red Bud Blos'sum Jelly. And it has a really nice taste to it. It's not too sweet and it's not bland. And honestly, it melts in your mouth. So there y'all go. Go out there while you still can, because red bud trees don't bloom for a long period of time. But make sure when you harvest your red bud blossoms that it's not near anywhere that's been sprayed. It's not near any city streets, because they're all chemicals and stuff off the vehicles. Make sure it's somewhere tucked to itself, and it's just waiting for your hands to kind of pull them beautiful petals off and make you some Red Bud Blos'sum Jelly. Shalom from Hill'Top Hollar, y'all. Halal'YAHUAH.